ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रीमद् भागवत गीता एज इट इज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for All session. Today is January 7th, 2025. Let us recite Bhagavad Gita chapter 18. Yesterday we concluded the chapter discussion, so we'll simply recite the whole chapter, trying to understand the verses as we recite. Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 18, Moksha Yoga. Conclusion, the perfection of renunciation. अर्जुन उवाच सन्न्यासस्य महाबाहो तत्त्वम् इच्छामि वेदितुम् त्यागस्य च हृषीकेश पृथक् केशिनिषूदन। श्रीभगवानुवाच काम्यानां कर्मणां न्यासं सन्न्यासं कवयो विदुः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं प्राहुस्त्यागं विचक्षणाः। त्याज्यं दोषवद् इत्येके कर्म प्राहुर्मनीषिणः यज्ञदानतपः कर्म न त्याज्यम् इति चापरे। निश्चयं शृणु मे तत्र त्यागे भरतसत्तमा त्यागो हि पुरुषव्याघ्र त्रिविधः सम्प्रकीर्तितः। यज्ञदानतपः कर्म न त्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत् यज्ञोदानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम्। एतान्यपि तु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलानि च कर्तव्यानीति मे पार्थ निश्चितं मतमुत्तमम्। नियतस्य तु सन्न्यासः कर्मणो नोपपद्यते मोहात् तस्य तामसः परिकीर्तितः। दुःखम् इत्येव यत्कर्म कायक्लेशाभयात् त्यजेत् स कृत्वा राजसं त्यागं नैव त्यागफलं लभेत्। कार्यम् इत्येव यत्कर्म नियतं क्रियतेऽर्जुन सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलं चैव स त्यागः सात्विको मतः। न द्वेष्ट्य कुशलं कर्म कुशलेनानुषज्यते त्यागी सत्त्वसमाविष्टो मेधावी छिन्न संशयः। न हि देहभृता शक्यं त्यक्तुं कर्माण्यशेषतः यस्तु कर्म फलत्यागी स त्यागीत्यभिधीयते। अनिष्टम् इष्टं मिश्रं च त्रिविधं कर्मणः फलम् भवत्यत्यागिनां प्रेत्या न तु सन्न्यासिनां क्वचित्। पञ्चैतानि महाबाहो कारणानि निबोध मे साङ्ख्ये कृतान्ते प्रोक्तानि सिद्धये सर्वकर्मणाम्। अधिष्ठानं तथा कर्ता करणं च पृथग्विधम् विविधाश्च पृथक् चेष्टा दैवं चैवात्र पञ्चमम्। शरीरवान् मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः न्याय्यं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः। तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलं तु यः पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वान् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः। यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावो बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते। ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं परिज्ञाता त्रिविधा कर्म चोदना करणं कर्म कर्तेति त्रिविधः कर्म संग्रहः। ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च त्रिधैवा गुणभेदतः प्रोच्यते गुणसङ्ख्याने यथावत् शृणुतान्यपि। सर्वभूतेषु येनैकं भावम् अव्ययमीक्षते अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्। पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ज्ञानं नानाभावान् पृथग्विधान् वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम्। यत्तु कृत्स्नवद् एकस्मिन् कार्ये सक्तम् अहैतुकम् अतत्त्वार्थवद् अल्पं च तत्तामसम् मुदाहृतम्। नियतं सङ्गरहितम् अरागद्वेषतः कृतम् अफलप्रेप्सुना कर्म यत्तत् सात्विकमुच्यते। यत्तु कामेप्सुना कर्म साहङ्कारेण वा पुनः क्रियते बहुलायासं तद्राजसं मुदाहृतम्। अनुबन्धं क्षयं हिंसाम् अनपेक्षा च पौरुषम् मोहाद् आरभ्यते कर्म यत्तत्तामसमुच्यते। मुक्तसङ्गो न वादी धृत्युत्साहसमन्वितः सिद्ध्यसिद्ध्यो निर्विकारः कर्ता सात्विक उच्यते। रागी कर्मफलप्रेप्सुर्लुब्धो हिंसात्मको शुचिः हर्षशोकान्वितः कर्ता राजसः परिकीर्तितः। अयुक्तः प्राकृतः स्तब्धः शठो नैष्कृतिको लसः विषादी दीर्घसूत्री च कर्ता तामस उच्यते। बुद्धेर्भेदं धृतेश्चैव गुणतस्त्रिविधं शृणु प्रोच्यमानम् अशेषेण पृथक्त्वेन धनञ्जय। प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च कार्याकार्ये भयाभये बन्धं मोक्षं च या वेत्ति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी। यया धर्मम् अधर्मं च कार्यं चाकार्यमेव च अयथावत् प्रजानाति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ राजसी। अधर्मं धर्मम् इति या मन्यते तमसावृता सर्वार्थान् विपरीतांश्च बुद्धिः सा पार्थ तामसी। धृत्या यया धारयते मनः प्राणेन्द्रियक्रियाः योगेनाव्यभिचारिण्या धृतिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी। यया तु धर्मकामार्थान् धृत्या धारयतेऽर्जुन प्रसङ्गेन फलाकाङ्क्षी धृतिः सा पार्थ राजसी। यया स्वप्नं भयं शोकं विषादं मदमेव च न विमुञ्चति दुर्मेधा धृतिः सा पार्थ तामसी। सुखं त्विदानीं त्रिविधं शृणु मे भरतर्षभा। अभ्यासाद् रमते यत्र दुःखान्तं च निगच्छति। यत्तद् अग्रे विषमिव परिणामे मृतोपमम्। तत्सुखं सात्विकं प्रोक्तम् आत्मबुद्धिप्रसादजम्। विषयेन्द्रियसंयोगाद् यत्तद् अग्रे मृतोपमम् परिणामे विषमिव तत्सुखं राजसंस्मृतम्। यदग्रे चानुबन्धे च सुखं मोहनम् आत्मनः निद्रालस्य प्रमादोत्थं तत्तामसम् मुदाहृतम्। न तदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः सत्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तं यदेभिः स्याद्रिभिर्गुणैः। I'll read that again. न तदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः सत्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तं यदेभिः स्यात्रिभिर्गुणैः। ब्राह्मणक्षत्रियविशां शूद्राणां च परन्तप कर्माणि प्रविभक्तानि स्वभावा प्रभवैर्गुणैः। शमोदपस्तपः शौचं क्षान्तिरार्जवमेव च ज्ञानं विज्ञानमास्तिक्यं ब्रह्म कर्म स्वभावजम्। शौर्यं तेजो धृतिर्दाक्ष्यं युद्धे चाप्यपलायनं दानम् ईश्वरभावश्च क्षात्रं कर्म स्वभावजम्। कृषि गोरक्ष्य वाणिज्यं वैश्यकर्म स्वभावजम् परिचर्यात्मकं कर्म शूद्रस्यापि स्वभावजम्। स्वे स्वे कर्मण्यभिरतः संसिद्धिं लभते नरः स्वकर्मानिरतः सिद्धिं यथा विन्दति तच्छृणु। यतः प्रवृत्तिर्भूतानां येन सर्वमिदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तम् अभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः। श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्वनुष्ठितात् स्वभावान्नियतं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्। सहजं कर्म कौन्तेय सदोषम् अपि न त्यजेत् सर्वारम्भा हि दोषेण धूमेनाग्निरिवावृताः। असक्तबुद्धिः सर्वत्र जितात्मा विगतस्पृहः नैष्कर्म्य सिद्धिं परमां सन्न्यासेनाधिगच्छति। सिद्धिं प्राप्तो यथा ब्रह्म तथाप्नोति निबोध मे समासेनैव कौन्तेय निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा। बुद्ध्या विशुद्धया युक्तो धृत्यात्मानं नियम्य च शब्दादीन् विषयान् त्यक्त्वा रागद्वेषौ व्युदस्य च विविक्तसेवी लघ्वाशी यत वाक्कायमानसः ध्यानयोगपरो नित्यं वैराग्यं समुपाश्रितः। अहंकारं बलं दर्पं कामं क्रोधं परिग्रहं विमुच्य निर्ममः शान्तो ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते। ब्रह्मभूतः प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न काङ्क्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते पराम्। भक्त्या मामभिजानाति यावान् यश्चास्मि तत्त्वतः ततो मां तत्त्वतो ज्ञात्वा विशते तदनन्तरम्। सर्वकर्माण्यपि सदा कुर्वाणो मद्व्यपाश्रयः मत्प्रसादादवाप्नोति शाश्वतं पदमव्ययम्। चेतसा सर्वकर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः बुद्धियोगम् उपाश्रित्य मच्चित्तः सततं भव। मच्चित्तः सर्वदुर्गाणि मत्प्रसादात् तरिष्यसि अथ चेत्त्वम् अहङ्कारान् न श्रोष्यसि विनङ्क्ष्यसि। यदहङ्कारम् आश्रित्य न योत्स्य इति मन्यसे मिथ्यैषा व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृतिस्त्वां नियोक्ष्यति स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्धः स्वेन कर्मणा कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यस्य वशोऽपि तत् ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशेऽर्जुन तिष्ठति भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया तमेव शरणं गच्छ सर्वभावेन भारत तत्प्रसादात् परां शान्तिं स्थानं प्राप्स्यसि शाश्वतम् इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातं गुह्यात् गुह्यतरं मया विमृश्यैतद् अशेषेण यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु सर्वगुह्यतमं भूयः शृणु मे परमं वचः इष्टोऽसि मे दृढम् इति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम् मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यसि सत्यं ते प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः इदं ते न तपस्काय न भक्ताय कदाचन न चाशुश्रूषवे वाच्यं न च मां योऽभ्यसूयति य इदं परमं गुह्यं मद्भक्तेष्वभिधास्यति भक्तिं मयि परां कृत्वा मामे वैष्यत्य संशयः न च तस्मान् मनुष्येषु कश्चिन्मे प्रियकृत्तमः भविता न च मे तस्मात् अन्यः प्रियतरो भुवि अध्येष्यते च य इमं धर्म्यं संवादमावयोः ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् इष्टस्याम् इति मे मतिः श्रद्धावान् अनसूयश्च शृणुयाद् अपि यो नरः सोऽपि मुक्तः शुभान् लोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणाम् कच्चिद् एतत् श्रुतं पार्थ त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा कच्चिद् अज्ञानसम्मोहः प्रनष्टस्ते धनञ्जय अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव सञ्जय उवाच इत्यहं वासुदेवस्य पार्थस्य च महात्मनः संवादम् इममश्रौषम् अद्भुतं रोमहर्षणम् व्यासप्रसादात् श्रुतवान् एतद् गुह्यम् अहं परम् योगं योगेश्वरात् कृष्णात् साक्षात् कथयतः स्वयम् राजन् संस्मृत्य संस्मृत्य संवादम् इममद्भुतम् केशवार्जुनयोः पुण्यम् हृष्यामि च मुहुर्मुहुः तच्च संस्मृत्य संस्मृत्य रूपम् अत्यद्भुतं हरेः विस्मयो मे महान् राजन् हृष्यामि च पुनः पुनः यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिर्ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम So like this, we will keep reciting for the rest of the week. And next week, we will begin with the 13th chapter. And we will also discuss the verses as we go along. Now let's discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. We are discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 6, the killing of the demon Putana. So we saw that Putana has come to Gokula, Mahavan, and she has even come to, and we saw a description of her beauty, how beautiful she was, and her behavior was so friendly, All the Brajbasis were so attracted to her, and she had a lotus flower in her hand. They even thought that this must be, she looks just like goddess Lakshmi looking for her husband. And actually, in fact, the ladies were actually guiding her to Nanda Maharaj's house because they were thinking that if our Krishna, if she even looks upon, if anyone gets the glance of goddess Lakshmi, what happens? All auspiciousness for you, isn't it? So they were thinking if she comes and if she glances on Krishna, if she simply looks at Krishna, it's going to be all auspicious and all, you know, there will be all benedictions for little Krishna. And what if she picks him up in her arms? It would be like, so they were like bringing her. So she comes to Nanda Maharaj's house. And also from the verses, we saw that uh, how did she come? Yadrichaya. Yadrichaya means out of her own accord. Here we should understand this was by Krishna's arrangement. She has come there. Then, after she came to Nanda Maharaj's house, they brought her. She went directly into Nanda Maharaj's house and into the room where the baby was sleeping, baby Krishna was sleeping. And how did she see? We saw Balam, right? Drashta talpe balam. That means she saw a baby. She was not looking at Krishna as Bhagavan. So, Bala grihas tatra vichinvati. So she was looking for babies because that was her project, to go and kill all babies, newborn babies. So looking for babies, she came to Nanda Maharaj's house. And who is she? Balagraha. She was a danger for babies, right? Dangerous for babies because she was going to kill the baby. So she's that lady, that witch who's dangerous for babies. She arrived at Nanda Maharaj's house looking for little babies. How did she come? By destiny or by Krishna's arrangement, by Krishna's desire, she came. And she saw Balam Dadarshe, Dadarshe Talpe, means she saw on the bed a baby. But who is this baby? Sukadev Goswami is reassuring the audience. The baby who destroys all demons. Asad Antakam. And also that baby who was hiding his natural effulgence, which was like millions. The effulgence coming from his body was like the effulgence coming from millions or billions of suns together, that much effulgence. But now he had covered that effulgence and he was laying there like an innocent baby, like an ordinary baby. He was just lying there. But what is the reality? He's hiding his effulgence just like one Agnikunda is covered by ashes. So someone seeing from a distance would think it is just a pile of ashes. What happens if someone jumps into those ashes? Finished. Instantly he'll be burnt. So that was the condition of Putana. She's looking at a baby, Balam, a tiny baby, 6 days old baby. She's looking at a baby. But actually that baby was like this Agnikunda who destroys all demons. Then what did Krishna do? So also when she came there, uh, you should also understand that she was being followed by all the ladies. So she came to Nanda Maharaj's house. So Yasodamayi is there, Rohini is there, and all these gopis who were following, who saw her, where is she going? Where is she going? They kept following her, and some of them were leading her. So they were all standing there. And she saw, what did she see? Yesterday we discussed, she's looking at, this is how she looked at the baby. But what about Krishna? Was Krishna also looking at Putana? No. As soon as Putana came inside, Krishna closed his eyes. He was not asleep. He was not sleeping. He just closed his eyes. As soon as Putana came, he closed his eyes. Nimilite kshanaha. Nimilite kshanaha means he closed his eyes. Who? Charachar Atma, the soul, the super soul of all Chara and Achara, all moving and non-moving beings. He is the Atma, the super soul. That Lord closed his eyes. Why? Vibuddhya tam balaka marika graham. Understanding that this lady who has come, she is a killer of babies. She is dangerous to babies, right? So she has come, although she's come, in such a beautiful form with such, uh, sweet nature, smiling at everyone. But what was in her heart? This desire to kill. So he didn't want to look at her. So there are many, we saw reasons why Krishna didn't want to look at her. Some of the reasons are that she's come in the form of a mother to feed her milk, but actually she's a Rakshasi. Her intention is to kill me. So, such wickedness, such hypocrisy, right? And that too, she's coming as a mother to kill. So he didn't want to look at her. One reason. The other reason was he thought that when he will kill her, he has to kill her. This is a woman, right? He's going to kill her. And when he kills her, she's going to be like, chatpataegi, right? She will be like, tadpegi, like she'll be suffering and struggling. And he wouldn't be able to look at her suffering like that. So he just closed his eyes. He was going to kill her anyway, but he didn't want to look at her. The analogy is like when you when you have to drink a bitter medicine, you just close your eyes, sometimes close your nose, and then you just drink, right? Close your eyes and drink like that. Something which is not palatable, you just close your eyes and you just take. So Krishna couldn't look at her suffering, so he just closed his eyes. That's one reason. Then the other reason we discussed is, anyone remembers any other reasons? Okay, if you don't remember, I'll just say. Krishna closed his eyes because she has come to give him poison. Krishna is thinking, my food is butter and misri, makhan misri. I eat, I have come, that's my food. Poison is not my food. Poison is Lord Shiva's food. So he closing his eyes, he's meditating on Lord Shiva, calling Lord Shiva, please come and take your share. Because Lord Shiva drank poison in the pastime of churning the milk ocean. So Krishna, by closing his eyes, is meditating on Lord Shiva. You come and you take your share, like that. Then what are the other reasons? Ah, another thing, Krishna is thinking that I am a small baby. Of course, he's the supreme personality of Godhead, but in his Leela, he's just born a 6-year-old baby. Now, such a big danger has come upon me, right? This witch has come to kill me. How should I save myself? How should I get out of this dangerous situation? So, yoga, one meaning of yoga is to find a solution. So when there is a problem, to come out with a solution, that solution is also called yoga. And another meaning of yoga is yoga, right? Like the Ashtanga yoga system, yoga. So Krishna, and what is the most important factor in yoga is, like, you are able to perform yoga because you have to concentrate your mind, right? Meditation is there in yoga. So closing the eyes actually helps in meditation. Otherwise, your mind gets distracted by so many external things. So, Krishna thinking that now this danger is in front of me. How should I deal? How should I tackle with this situation to come out of this danger? So, for that, Krishna closed his eyes. Like that, it is said. He closed his eyes to come up with a solution, how to come out of this dangerous situation. Then one more thing is, Krishna is thinking, oh, this Putana has killed so many babies in the past. And she is going to kill so many, she has come to kill so many other babies. Krishna is not concerned. So these are different reasons. Okay. So another reason is Krishna is thinking that he is not thinking about himself, how I will save myself. Rather, he's thinking, who are the other babies? Let me see who are the other babies that I need to protect. So here, this is the nature of a great soul. A great soul is not concerned for his own, protection, or he's not concerned for his own comfort. Rather, he's always thinking about others. So Krishna is the greatest, right? So Krishna is thinking that who are the other babies that I need to protect? So to think about that, he closed his eyes. Then, of course, we discussed about the sun and moon. uh, So when they are thinking, sun, Surya and Chandra are thinking that this is Bhagavan's nature. He is extremely merciful. He is very compassionate. One way or the other, if anyone comes to serve him, he only takes the good, and he will certainly give this Rakshasi liberation. He will send her to Vaikuntha. He can do whatever he likes, but we are not going to support her. So we won't allow her. He can send her to Vaikuntha in whichever way he wants, but not through our path. So whenever one goes to, when one gets liberation, they actually go through the path of the sun and moon. So yesterday I was telling you what is that path. It is called Archi Marga. Archi Marga. So they were saying they were thinking the Lord can send, but we won't allow her to go via our path. So they close their doors. What are they? The eyelids of Krishna. That's why Krishna's eyes are closed, because sun and moon are saying, Putana, we won't allow her to go through our path, like that. And then also we saw King Nimi. He's there in the eyelids. So he's as if he's trying to tell Krishna that you're only looking at this Putana externally, that she's so beautiful and she's so loving. She's come as a mother to give you milk. Look at what she is from inside. Don't look at her from outside. So when you close your eyes, then you think about what she is inside. So that's why King Nimi closed his eyes. And then, of course, Sripad Vallabhacharya says that Putana is avidya. Avidya is actually a component of Mahamaya. So, avidya cannot stay in front of the Lord. Krishna Surya Sama Maya hoy andhakar. Jaha Krishna taha nahi Maya radhikar. So, in front of Krishna, Maya cannot stay, avidya cannot stay. Therefore, Krishna closed his eyes. Because he opened his eyes, then Putana wouldn't be able to stand there or do anything, because she is Maya, right? Avidya, so she won't be able to do anything. So therefore, Krishna closed his eyes so that to encourage her, come and do what you came to do. And one more thing is, if he kept his eyes open, then she will become fearful. Anyone, right? If your enemy comes and wants to attack you, and if you just look in their eye fearlessly, then the enemy becomes fearful. So she will see when Krishna is looking at her, then she may become fearful and she may become reluctant to go ahead with her plan of killing Krishna. So that's why, to encourage her, Krishna closed his eyes like this. So the bottom line is, Krishna closed his eyes when Putana came. Then what did Putana do when Krishna closed his eyes? She went there and she was like, you see, all these ladies are watching her, all the gopis, they're all there watching her. So looking at the baby, she's like saying, ah, how beautiful this baby is. How innocent, how beautiful. And then saying like this, she looked at the gopis and she picked up the baby in her arms. She was showing so much affection to Krishna that Yasodamayi was thinking that I love Krishna so much, in front of this lady's love, right? This Putana who had come, in front of this Putana's love, I am nothing. I don't have any love for Krishna. How much affection she has, how much, maternal affection she has for Krishna, like that, she was thinking. And all the gopis were also thinking, so loving she is, she's so wonderful. And she's also like, so beautiful, so nice, this baby is so nice, so beautiful. She picked up the baby into her arms. But what was she doing? Who did she pick up? What is her intention? Her intention was to kill. Externally, she's feigning, she's pretending that, oh, this baby is so nice, and she's pretending her love. In reality, she had come to kill. So her intention is to kill. So she picked up the baby. Who is this baby? Anantam, Antakam. Nobody, he has no end. Ananta, he has no end. Nobody can kill him. Antakam, he causes the end of everyone else. Such a baby she picked up into her arms. Anantam Antakam, that Lord who has no end, she picked him up to end him. But in reality, he has no end, he causes the end of everyone else. Aropayad Ankam. So she took that baby. Aropayad means she took Ankam into her lap. She picked up the baby and took in her lap. But what was this compared to? Yathoragam Suktam Abuddhi Rajjudhihi. Abuddhi means an ignorant person. An ignorant person in that, let's say in the dark or something, he sees a serpent nicely coiled up, right? A serpent like a cobra, coiled up and sleeping. And this ignorant person mistakes it for a rope and picks up that sleeping serpent, thinking it is a rope, and puts in his lap. What will happen? That was Putana's condition. She's picking up a deadly poisonous snake, serpent that is sleeping, and she's putting in her lap. That means it's going to cause her death. So Putana is picking up baby Krishna into her arms is just like uh, an ignorant person's picking up a deadly serpent into her arms. Sukadev Goswami is saying. Then, yeah, the next one. Okay, so then what happened after this? So meanwhile, what are all the gopis doing? They're looking at Putana. They're looking at Putana, and they're feeling very happy. She actually, our baby Krishna, she picked up our baby Krishna. What else, Looking at the baby, she's saying, has he been sleeping for a long time? Looks like he's been sleeping for a long time. He must be hungry. So if the baby sleeps for a long time, all the milk is digested, so he'll need to drink again, right? So looks like he's been sleeping for a long time. And then she looked at Yasodamayi and Rohini as if to indicate he didn't eat anything, or is he? It looks like he's hungry. Like, should I feed? That was the, she didn't say anything. Neither did Yashodamai or Rohini say anything. But with the eye gestures, she indicated the baby looks hungry. And then they were like thinking, if she feeds her milk to Krishna, इससे बढ़कर और क्या हो सकता है? What can be better than that? That's the highest. So they were like kind of saying, huh, go ahead, you feed milk like that. They didn't say, but with eyes gestures, it appeared that as if she looked at them like, the baby looks hungry, and they're like, yeah, go ahead, feed him like that. And one commentator says that as if Yashodama is saying, don't you take care of your baby properly? You don't even feed him on time. Look at him. He looks so hungry. It looks like you don't give him food on time. Like this, Putana was, indicating to Yashodama. So saying like this, she picked up Krishna into her arm. Krishna's eyes are closed. Tam tikshna chittam ativama cheshtitam. So here you can get a question that, why didn't anyone object? Right? Why didn't Yashodamai, Rohini, or the gopis, why didn't they stop her? She just came in, she looked at the baby, she picked up the baby, right? The baby's apparently sleeping, eyes were closed, and she was going to feed him her milk. And nobody objected. Why? What is the reason here? Tam's tikshna chittam. Tikshna chittam. What is tikshna? Like very sharp, right? Her heart was very fierce, right? Because her intent was to come and kill Krishna. Tikshna chittam, very fierce heart. Ativama cheshtitam. Vama means very, very favorable. So ativama, right? Ativama means extremely amicable gestures and movements. Nobody could ever suspect that she had any, uh, nefarious intentions of harming the child in any way. They just could not suspect because her behavior was so motherly, right? So affectionate. Prabhaya, tat prabhaya. What is that prabhaya? That is her motherly affection. As I told you, so much so that Yasodamai was thinking, I have no love for Krishna. How much love she has for Krishna? I don't have any love. I used to think I had love, but actually she loves Krishna so much. So how can anyone suspect, right? Because of her ativama cheshtitam, exceptionally, extremely favorable attitude and behavior, nobody even suspected what her evil intentions were in the heart. So, tam tikshna chittam ativama cheshtitam vikshantara kosha parichadasivat. How analogy is given? You have a very, very sharp sword, but that sword is kept inside a sheath, right? The case, right? Sheath. And that sheath is nicely covered with a soft velvet cloth. Now, when you see the sword inside the sheath, you are not seeing how sharp that sword is. All you can see is the softness of that velvet, isn't it? Nobody can see how deadly the sword is inside. You simply see the nice soft velvet cloth on top. Similarly, externally, her behavior was so sweet, like a mother, very loving, affectionate mother. Her evil intentions inside were not visible to anyone, just like a sharp sword which is covered by a soft velvet cloth or velvet sheath cover. Vikshantara kosha parichadasivat. Asi is a sword or knife. Kosha is the thing in which you keep. And it is hidden, right? This sharp knife is hidden or sword is hidden inside its sheath. Varastriyam. Varastriyam means what? Extremely beautiful lady. So externally she's so beautiful, and also tat prabhaya, her motherly affection, her influence so powerful. That influence means her motherly affection. Cha darshite, they were completely overwhelmed both by her beauty and by her motherly affection toward Krishna. They were completely ekdam gad gad ho gaye. They were completely overwhelmed. They couldn't even suspect even the slightest mischief from her side. Niriksha mane janani he atishtatam. Niriksha mane. They were simply watching what she's doing in complete awe, right? Niriksha mane janani, like a mother, both mothers, Yasodamai and Rohini. They were just watching her. Atishtatam. What is atishtatam? Means they were just remained there wherever they were, right? They didn't try to stop her, they didn't interrupt what she was doing. They were completely marveling and uh, you know what's the word, uh, admiring, right, her beauty and her affection, and they were just looking at her. Nobody stopped her. तां तीक्ष्णचित्ताम् अतिवामचेष्टिताम् वीक्षान्तराकोशपरिच्छदासिवत् वरस्त्रियं तत्प्रभया च दर्शिते निरीक्षमाणे जननी ह्यतिष्ठताम्. That's why Yasodamayi, Rohini, they didn't say anything. Putana Rakshasi's heart was fierce and cruel, but she looked like a very affectionate mother. Thus she resembled a sharp sword in a soft sheath. Although seeing her within the room, Yashoda and Rohini overwhelmed by her beauty, did not stop her, right? Not just her beauty, beauty, both, right? Striyam means extremely beautiful, and Tat Prabhaya. Yes, Mataji, thank you, Sri Vidyanku. So Tat Prabhaya means by her influence means uh, that means her motherly affection. They were completely overwhelmed by that. Yashoda and Rohini, overwhelmed by her beauty, did not stop her, but remained silent because she treated the child like a mother. Purport. Although Putana was an outsider, and although she personified fierce death, because the determination within her heart was to kill the child, when she directly came and placed the child on her lap to offer the child her breast to suck, the mothers were so captivated by her beauty that they did not prohibit her. Sometimes a beautiful woman is dangerous because everyone being captivated by external beauty, Maya Mohita, is unable to understand what is in her mind. Yes, you all have this experience. I think we do. Sometimes some ladies are like so, you know, so sweet actually, like their behavior, their talks, and they seem to be so loving. But only when time passes, you will understand what was their intention, especially when it comes to their dealings with men. It has been seen many times. Even if you see the prostitutes also, they're actually very, very sweet and very nice. So men sometimes they think, oh, my wife is always fighting with me and all that. This prostitute is so nice. She's always so sweet. But she's like that sword who's meant to kill, right? She'll look so sweet and she'll talk to you sweetly, she'll cook and she'll serve and everything nicely. But anyone who gets in the grip of a prostitute is finished. She'll take all his wealth and eventually even she can even kill that person because she'll have other paramours. Extremely dangerous. But from outside, she looks so beautiful. She'll be laughing, smiling all the time. She'll be speaking sweet words. Be very careful. So, uh, sometimes a beautiful woman is dangerous because everyone being captivated by external beauty, Maya Mohita, is unable to understand what is in her mind. Those who are captivated by the beauty of the external energy are called Maya Mohita. Similarly, uh, so attraction for the opposite sex is the most powerful way of binding to this material world. So that is why, it is compared. Maya Devi is actually compared to illusory energies, compared to a very beautiful lady. Uh, when Brahmaji was creating, we see this in the third canto, then the illusory energy, actually lust, right, appeared in the time 7:30. She comes in the form of evening twilight, but these uh, Danavas, Asuras, when they see evening twilight, that evening twilight appears to them in the form of a beautiful woman, and they become completely attracted, and they just keep, you know, they start describing her, the evening twilight. So of course, Brahmaji sheds that body. So, so Maya Mohita. Sometimes a beautiful woman is dangerous because everyone being captivated by external beauty, Maya Mohita, is unable to understand what is in her mind. Those who are captivated by the beauty of the external energy are called Maya Mohita. Mohitam nabi janati mamebhya param avyayam. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi vishnum durashayaye bahiratha manina. So that means anyone who is attracted to the illusory energy, what will happen? he won't be able to make progress in his spiritual life. He won't understand what is his real self-interest. That's why it's Maya, right? When you are overcome by Maya, then nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnum durashaya ye bahirartha manina. Durashaya, right? The durasha means that, like, you are expecting, you are aspiring for something which is not possible, right? Bahirartha manina. That means you want to become happy in this material world, in this external energy, you want to enjoy, it's never going to happen. But somebody who is enamored by the external energy, he won't be able to understand what is his real self-interest. And he won't even get that, but he'll be running after it. Like in the desert, you're running after mirage, right? For water. You will never get that water. But you won't be able to give up also. The animal that is thirsty, it's running after that water. And ultimately it drops down dead. That's the condition of one who is Maya Mohita, who is attracted by Maya. Mohitam nabijanati, mamebhyaha paramavyayam. Anyone who is thus attracted by Maya will not be able to understand the Supreme Lord. So here, this Putana is, because she's come in the forms of such a beautiful lady, right? Everyone is attracted, but actually she is Maya. Here, of course, the two mothers, Rohini and Yashoda, were not Maya Mohita. Yeah, that's a different thing. Yasodamayi and Rohini were not getting attracted to Putana because they were in illusion. Even this we discussed in the past. I'll quickly touch upon that. There are two types of Maya. There is Yoga Maya and there is Mahamaya. Yoga Maya acts on the Lord's devotees. Mahamaya acts on the non-devotees. That's the difference. So whatever activities the non-devotees are doing, that is by the influence of Mahamaya, and the activities of the devotees are under the control of Yoga Maya. So what are the functions of, what do you mean by Maya? What is the function of Maya? Maya will, two functions, right? You will not be able to see what there is. It will make you forget. It will not allow you to see something, what the reality, that is one. And the other one is, it will make you see something which is actually not there. What is actually there, that will be hidden. You won't be able to see. And you will see something which is not true, which is not there. That is Maya's function. So how does Yoga Maya do that in the case of devotees? In the case of devotees, what Yoga Maya does is, Yoga Maya hides the Aishwarya of Krishna. Aishwarya of Krishna is hidden from the vision of Krishna's eternal associates, like Yasodamayi and the Brajbasis. Even though they are seeing Krishna, they don't see Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. They just see Krishna as their most lovable object. So Krishna's Aishwarya is hidden like that. And in this case, about Putana, they were seeing that, oh, she's so, the fact is she's a demon, but they're seeing that she is, she's a very loving mother. How they're able to see like this? This is by the power of the Lord's Leela Shakti. Leela Shakti is one component of Yogamaya. Because what Leela Shakti does is, for a Leela to take place, it's just like when there is drama, you have to recruit characters to play in that drama, isn't it? For casting, you'll recruit various people to play the characters. So Leela Shakti can take the eternal associates, and also she can take conditioned souls. Actually, Leela Shakti is a function of Yoga Maya, but she is orchestrating that whole pastime for pleasure, to give pleasure to Krishna. And when you are participating in that, the devotees, they will also get pleasure, right? Every character there, everyone gets absorbed in that particular role. So she arranges things in such a way. So she arranged that Yasodamayi and all the Brajbasis, Rohini Mai, when they see Putana, they will be like completely under illusion, thinking that, oh, she's so beautiful, she's so wonderful. This is actually arranged by the Lord's Leela Shakti, not by the illusory energy. That's the point I'm trying to make. But in general, that's why Srila Prabhupada, in the last two lines of the purport, he's saying, it is not that Yasodamayi and Rohini, it's not, of course, they were not Maya Mohita, right? Deluded by the external energy. But to develop the pastimes of the Lord, they were captivated by Yogamaya, like that. Such Maya Moha is the action of Yogamaya. So the Maya which is covering the eternal associates, that is Yogamaya. That is not Mahamaya. Whereas Maya Mohita, living entities who are captivated by the material things in this world, that is under the effect of Mahamaya. Next, tasmin stanam durjara viryamulbanam घोराङ्कमादाय शिशोर्ददावथा गाढं कराभ्यां भगवान् प्रपीड्य तत् प्राणैः समं रोषसमन्वितो पिबत्. Tasmin stanam durjara viryamulbanam. So what is Putana? What did Putana do next? She took and tasmin stanam, her breast, durjara viryam ulbanam. Okay, her stanam, her breast, which was smeared with poison, right? Viryam. But what kind of poison is this? Durjara. Jara means jirna ho jana. That means that which can be digested. This poison was so deadly that it could not be digested in any way. If somebody accidentally ate that poison, no enzyme, nothing can ever digest it. It is so, it's undigestible, right? It cannot be digested. It cannot be broken. Durjara. And ulbanam means it is so fierce. It is so fierce. Simply by touching it to the lips, the person will die. There is no need to even eat it. It was such a fierce, deadly poison. Simply by touching that poison with the lips, immediately the person is going to die. This is the same Kalakuta poison which Lord Shiva had, drunk in the Samudra Manthan Leela. That same Kalakuta poison. Extremely deadly. So that poison she had smeared on her breast. And Putana, what did she do? Tasmin stanam durjara viryam ulbanam ghorankam adaya shishor dadavatha. So ghora ankam. Ankam means her lap. So her lap was, or her arms were, again, ghora, right? Means deadly. So she took the baby in her deadly lap or arms, or the other way you can say is Putana, who's Ghora. Ghora means the most fierce Putana, took the baby in her lap, in her ankam. Ghora ankam, adaya, placing the baby. Shishor, dadao. Dadao means she pushed, she gave. So the baby's eyes, Krishna's eyes were closed. She could tell that the baby is not sleeping. If the baby is sleeping, fast asleep, then first she would wake the baby up. Then she would offer her breast milk to the baby.
But she could see that the baby is awake and his eyes are closed. She could understand. So what did she do? She took the baby in her arms, Krishna in her arms, and then she took out her breast, and then she just pushed her nipple inside the baby's mouth. She just, gave, like just pushed it inside the mouth. Dadao means she gave. Ghorankam adaya shishor dadavatha. Dadao, she gave. Huh? Now, what did Krishna do when Putana gave pushed her, breast, her nipple inside his mouth? Gadham karabhyam. Gadham means very strongly. Karabhyam, with both hands, he held on to her breast. Very interestingly, here Sukadev Goswami says Bhagavan. Until now, he was saying Balam, Balam for Krishna, or little baby, like that. But now he's not saying Balam, he's saying Bhagavan. What is the intention of saying Bhagavan here? Bhagavan, when Putana gave her breast, pushed her nipple inside Krishna's mouth, Krishna very tightly, Gadham Karabhyam, with both hands, he tightly held on to her breast. He squeezed, right? He was holding on. Why it is said Bhagavan is holding on is the Lord here, it is talking about Krishna's nature as Bhagavan. What is Bhagavan's nature? Bhagavan's nature is he is extremely kind. Regardless of who you are, whatever offenses, whatever you have done, you may have done in the past, if you just come to offer some service to him, he will accept that. That's why Bhavagrahi Janardana. Here, Bhava is also not there. Her Bhava is to kill him. But it is Krishna's nature. If anyone comes to him and offers himself to Krishna, he will never leave that person. He won't leave. Once he gives you abhaya, right? He will hold on. He will never give up on that person. That's why Sukadev Goswami is saying Bhagavan. That means Putana has come to give her milk to be his mother. He's saying, all right, I will accept you as my mother. So I'm not going to leave you. I will make you अपनी माँ बनाकर ही छोड़ेंगे. So he's not going to give up. इसीलिए they are saying Bhagavan. So Bhagavan was holding, he took, and also, little babies, all mothers here, when they drink, babies hold on to the mother's breast and they even squeeze like this. And that is actually good because that increases the mother's affection and it, makes the milk come out. So Krishna holding on to Putana, only he was holding it so hard. He just held on so tightly. That's why it is said Gadam. Gadam means very tightly. Maharaj says, His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj says, as if a crane is holding her breast like that. So tightly he held on to her. So, Gadam Karabhyam Bhagavan Prapidya Tat. So what happened? Prapidya means it was giving her great pain, right? When he held on to her, he was holding so tightly, it gave her so much pain. And then what did he do? Now he's drinking milk, right? She offered her breast. Pranai samam rosha samanvitopibat. Prana. So there were two things that he's taking, he's drinking. He's drinking two things there. Not only he is drinking two things, there were two people who were drinking. Pranai samam. That means he is drinking the milk along with prana. Samam rosha samanvito pibat. That means rosha means anger. Okay. So Krishna had a companion there. Krishna had a companion. Who is Krishna's companion here? Rosha, anger. Who is the deity for anger? Lord Shiva. So Krishna is drinking. So Krishna is thinking, Her intention, her heart is not good. Her prana is not good. Prana means, in this case, prana means her intention, her heart. Because in her heart, she had this wickedness. She wanted to come and kill Krishna. So her heart is not good. Her heart is wicked. Maybe her milk is good. I will drink her milk. Her milk must be fine. So I will drink her milk. But the prana is not good. So he gave that to, he called his companion, rosha, anger. Who is that? Lord Shiva. So Krishna is drinking her milk. Lord Shiva is drinking the poison. So there were two things that were being drunk, right? Two objects. One is milk and one is prana, life air. And two people were also there. Krishna is only drinking milk. Krishna never drank her prana. He never sucked his life, her life. Krishna was only taking the motherly affection, the milk which she was offering. He just accepted her milk. But Lord Shiva was drinking the prana. And also, you can say here that Krishna was drinking milk and anger was drinking that prana out of Putana. And meanwhile, while this was happening, what is Putana's condition? Prapedia. Prapedia. She was in extreme pain when Krishna was drinking this milk as well as her prana. Tasmin stanam durjara virya mulbanam घोरांकमादाय शिशोर ददावथा गाढ़म कराभ्याम भगवान प्रपीड्य तत् प्राणै समम रोष समन्वितोपि बद. Pranai samam, along with prana, rosha samanvitaha, being very angry at her, apibat, sucks the breast. On that very spot, and also where all this is happening, Putana, opened her, her breast, like pulled her breast out and put it inside the baby's mouth, Krishna's mouth, right there in front of all the ladies who were standing there, right? They were all watching. Yasodamayi, Rohini, and all the Brajbasis, the ladies, they were all gopis were watching in front of them, right in that place. Tasmin, in that very spot, she did this. On that very spot, the fiercely dangerous Rakshasi took Krishna on her lap and pushed her breast into his mouth. The nipple of her breast was smeared with a dangerous, immediately effective poison. But the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, becoming very angry at her, took hold of her breast, squeezed it very hard with both hands, and sucked out both the poison and her life. Purport: Lord Krishna was not angry at Putana for his own sake. Rather, he was angry because the Rakshasi had killed so many small children in Brajabhumi. Therefore, he decided that she should be punished by having to forfeit her life. So, you see, there are many commentaries by different acharyas. So, therefore, you will find so many wonderful angles to one particular pastime. It's like, when you'll see from, you see a crystal, right? From one angle, if you see, it'll look yellow, another angle, it'll look purple, another angle, it'll look blue, like that. All are there in that crystal. Just depends on from which angle you're looking at it. Like that, Srimad Bhagavatam is like that. It has so many angles. Each of the acharyas is highlighting one particular angle and bringing out the beauty of Bhagavatam. So that is why all the commentaries are, completely valid and extremely nectarine. So Lord Krishna, so here we see another explanation here. Lord Krishna was not angry at Putana for his own sake. Rather, he was angry because the Rakshasi had killed so many small children in Brajabhumi. So therefore, he felt that she should be punished. So he started sucking out her life. Okay, next one. Now, what is happening? This Putana, now when Krishna is sucking out, you think it's easy? Her life is being sucked out and is holding on to her. And she's in severe pain. Even when he just held on, that itself, prapedia, it was hurting her so badly. But now she has to, she came as a very beautiful lady, right? Like a mother. If the baby is doing that, what does the mother do? Right? Gently, she's very gentle with the baby, isn't it? So initially, she's actually showing all the gopis there. She's like, ah, like that she's doing initially, because she's in pain, but she was just trying to, stop. So she's saying, that's enough, that's enough. Oh, baby, stop, stop, that's enough, like that, So initially, she tried to tolerate the pain. What is she? Sa muncha munchala miti prabhashini. Prabhashini, she's crying. Nishpidyamana khila jiva marmani. Vivritya netre charanau bhujau muhu. Prasvinna gatra kshipati rurodaha. So what is she doing? Initially, she tried to tolerate, and she was like, she just tried to tolerate. And then when it was getting very bad, then she said, okay, that's enough, that's enough. Don't drink anymore, don't drink anymore. Stop sucking, stop sucking. Stop, leave me, leave me. Like that, she's telling. Now, that baby is, is 6-year-old. That baby won't even know the language. Who is she telling? You leave me, you leave me. Right? He doesn't even know the meaning of what is leaving and what is holding. But she's saying, yeah. But she's saying, oh, enough, enough, leave, leave, drink no more, suck no more, leave, leave. She's saying like that. So all the gopis are seeing and they're thinking, Are, is he biting her or what? And then this is just a newborn baby. He doesn't even have teeth. How he can bite? Oh, but they could visibly see that she's in great pain. So they were all wondering what's happening. And then she's saying, Muncha, Muncha means leave, leave, stop, stop. Muncha, alamiti, alamiti means bas karo, leave me, don't drink anymore, right? Stop, stop, like that she's saying. And after that, it was unbearable for her. She couldn't. And then she started crying, because he was not, Krishna wouldn't let go. He's not, Actually, you know what she did? She started beating after that. First thing is she tried to tolerate, just making some sounds, oh, bas, jaisa. And then the second thing is when that didn't work, then she's like, stop, sir. She started saying verbally, बस करो लीव लीव बेटा बहुत हो गया छोड़ दो लीव लीव don't suck anymore alamiti muncha she was saying leave and when that also didn't work she actually started beating him to to get him out of her. She started beating him, and even when that didn't work, now she started crying, oh my god, मैं कहाँ आ गई, how I got stuck here, like, oh Deva, what happened? I will never ever come again here. Just leave me. I will never come to this Vraja again. And she started crying. She was actually crying. That's what is happening. Sa muncha munchalamiti prabhashini, crying. Prabhashini means she started crying. Nishpidya manakila jiva marmani. Yes. Why she's crying? Nishpidya mana means being pressed severely. Krishna is holding her so tightly, and also, with he's sucking out the milk as well as her life. So she's in severe pain, being unable to bear that pain. She's crying. Akila Jiva Marmani. Huh? And how she's feeling that pain in every center of her vitality, practically, like, she was like completely like, she's feeling in the core, right? Like she couldn't experience anything else except that pain in her entire existence, in her whole body. She's just like completely, you know, gripped by that pain. Vivritya netre. The next thing is when you're in such severe pain, what happens? Her eyes started rolling, they just became wide, right? Vivritya, opening wide, netre, her two eyes, charanau, bhujau, muhu. So she started like, now she started, hands and legs. She was like chatpatana, right? Like this, she was going and her eyes were rolling up because she was unable to bear that pain. Vivritya netre, charanau, bhujau, muhu. Again and again, she was beating her hands and legs, and her eyes rolled up. And prasvinna gatra. Prasvinna gatra, with her body perspiring, her whole body is sweating now. kshipati rurodaha. And she started crying severely, right? She was throwing her hands and legs, and in extreme pain, she started crying to get rid of that baby. She tried everything possible. Sa muncha munchalamiti prabhashini nishpidyamanakhila jiva marmani. She was in severe pain. Vivritya netre, so much so that her eyes literally, popped up, like they just opened up, started rolling. Vivritya netre charanau bhujau muhu prasvinna gatra kshipati rurodaha. And she started severely crying. Unbearably pressed in every vital point, the demon Putana began to cry, "Please leave me, suck my breast no longer." Perspiring, her eyes wide open and her arms and legs flailing, she cried very loudly again and again. Purport: the Rakshasi was severely punished by Krishna. She threw her arms and legs about, and Krishna also began to kick her with his legs to punish her properly for her mischievous activities. So, what happened was at this point, Krishna, with his hands, he was holding her breast, and with his legs and his knees, he was like, pushing into her belly. So, he was all the time still like an innocent baby. He's just holding on to her tightly and just absorbed in drinking that milk. And his legs were, like pushed into her belly, and he's just holding on to her. So like you can say like he's kicking her. So in this way, Putana is crying. And actually the next thing is she won't be able to stay there anymore. She'll get up and she'll start running out. We can see that one also. Tasya स्वनेनाति गभीर रमहसा साद्रिर्मही द्यौश्च चचाल सग्रहा रसादिशश्च प्रतिनेदिरे जनाः पेतुः क्षितौ वज्र निपात शंकया. तस्याः स्वनेनाति गभीर. So tasyaha, that Rakshasi, so the sound that she made, because the previous verse said that she was crying loudly, right? So what happened by that? By that vibration of sound, Svena Ati Gabhira, extremely loud, Ramhasa. Huh? Ramhasa means forceful with the mountains, Mahi, the surface of the world, Dyaucha, an outer space, trembled. So because of that sound, the earth trembled, mountains trembled, and outer space, everything started trembling because of her severe crying. Tasya swanenaati gabhira ramhasa sadrir mahi adri mahi dyauscha chachala sagraha rasadishascha pratinedi re janaha. And what happened to all the people? People in general, they all fell down. Actually, what happened was not just crying, she started screaming. Petuk shitau vajra nipata shankaya. Vajra nipata shankaya, that means the sound was as if some thunderbolts were falling. So what happened was, while she was still there, she was like in severe pain. She was crying. She was beating her hands and legs. And then she could not stay there anymore. She got up. She started running outside. And she started running outside. And when she was running outside, she started screaming in pain. She was screaming. So still the gopis had all they had seen was that this beautiful lady, Putana, she was offering her milk to Krishna and something happened and she's screaming and taking the baby, she ran outside. That's all they saw. They didn't see that she transformed into a Rakshasi or anything. She's still there as Putana and she ran outside. And the next thing they know is they hear this thunderbolt-like sound. That was her screaming. They don't know what happened, but the effect of that screaming was everyone, Nanda Maharaj, Yasodamayi, all the gopis, they felt as if a thunderbolt fell on each person's head. Like I would feel that it is falling on my head. And they all dropped to the ground. They fell down. They all fell down, just simply hearing that sound. And what else happened? Everything started trembling. That's how loud her scream was, fierce her scream was. Mountains were trembling, the earth was trembling, outer space, everything was trembling. And all people in general, they felt as if a thunderbolt fell on their head and they all fell down to the ground. That is the effect of Putana screaming. That will come. Putana's falling is not said yet. Putana is still screaming. Tasya svanenati gabhira ramhasa sadrir mahidyauscha chachala sagraha. Graha. Sagraha, with the stars. Even the stars were trembling. Rasadishascha pratinedire janaha. In all directions, right? In all directions. Rasa means like rasatala, below the earth also. Everywhere, up, down, everywhere. In all directions, janaha, all people. Petu kshitau vajranipata shankaya. Petu means they all fell down. All people fell down on the surface of the world as if thunderbolts were falling like that. As Putana screamed loudly and forcefully, the earth with its mountains and outer space with its planets trembled. The lower planets and all directions vibrated, and people fell down, fearing that thunderbolts were falling upon them. That's how loudly Putana screamed. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur remarks that in this verse, the word rasa refers to the planetary systems below the earth, such as Rasatala, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala. So the rest we can read tomorrow. And does anyone have any questions, discussions?
Very nice, Mataji. Very interesting. बाप रे बहुत ही अच्छा, बहुत सुंदर ना. क्लास छोड़ने का मन नहीं कर रहा है माताजी.
भगवान की लीला ऐसी है माता जी. कल कंटिन्यू करेंगे.
लेट ज्वाइन हुई बट बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण. Okay. And
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Very nice.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. थैंक यू.